The performing art of No has a history dating back some 650 years. It has survived for centuries as a classic performance art, and in modern times has also received high international acclaim. Indeed, in 2001, No, the world's oldest stage performance art, was selected by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. Let's take a closer look at the attractions. No was originally known as Saragaku and was brought from China to Japan along the Silk Road around the beginning of the 8th century. It later became known in Japan as Sangaku. This performing art, imbued with musical elements and performed on a beautifully decorated stage, gradually became a storytelling art form. Later, in the middle of the 14th century, a father and son combination, Kanami and Zeami, established the stylized tradition known today as No. Welcome to a traditional No theater. The stage is used exclusively for No performances. It is always made of wood and measures around 6 meters square. At the left of the stage is a narrow corridor-like bridge called a hashigakari, by which the performers enter the main stage. Both the main stage and the hashigakari are adorned with wooden roofs. The reason for this is that during its early years, No was performed outdoors, and the roofs were required as protection from the weather. Today, the vast majority of No plays are performed indoors, but the roofs are maintained as a No tradition. To examine the characteristics of a No performance, let us focus on one of the most well-known of all No plays, Dojoji. There are almost 250 plays in the No repertoire, and in many of these, the main character is the spirit of a deceased person, which inhabits both the celestial world and the physical world. The play often concludes with the salvation of the restless spirit, and Dojoji is a typical example of this kind of story. One of the major features of No plays is the use of masks. In the first half of Dojoji, the main character is a dancing girl, or shirabyoshi, while in the second half, the dancing girl changes to a she-devil, or kijo, and two different masks are used to portray these characters. At first glance, No masks may appear quite expressionless, but the seasoned No performer has the ability to imbue the lifeless mask with a range of subtle expressions and emotions. No is also a type of 14th century musical featuring song, dance, and music, all combining to relate the play's storyline. The main attraction of Dojoji is a dance routine known as Rambyoshi. This dance is performed to the slow, steady beat of a small drum, which is accompanied by a Japanese flute. This scene is performed in exceedingly slow motion and constitutes a very slow and quiet passage of the play. However, the quiet is suddenly shattered. The slow, methodic movements are transformed in an instant into a frenetic dance performance called Kyu no Mae. This signifies the heightened emotional state that the performer has entered. The contrast between slow and frenetic movement is among the highlights of the whole performance. No plays often conclude with the salvation or catharsis of a tormented soul, and the final scene of Dojoji is no exception. It features a group of Buddhist priests chanting sutras to placate the soul of a young girl who has transformed herself into a snake to wreak revenge on those who have wronged her. Through the power of prayer, the priests are able to save the tormented soul of the girl, and she is finally able to enter nirvana.
能楽には650年の歴史がございます。 これだけの長い伝統があって、現代でも演じられているのは世界でも能楽だけでしょう。14世紀に完成された芸能ですが、現代的であるという側面も備えています。そこで扱われているテーマは、現代でも共通するもので、21世紀に生きる皆様がご覧になっても十分に理解できます。日本にいらしたらぜひ一度能楽堂に来ていただき、実際に能を見ていただきたいものです。
The performing art of No is a comprehensive art form which brings together poetry, acting, dance, and music to excite the senses of the audience. No performers are adept at using the musical accompaniment of a traditional Japanese orchestra and haunting chants to enthrall audiences with their powerful portrayals. A traditional No performance is sure to fill the viewer with an array of emotions, a veritable feast for the senses.